Today I am making a Jamaican delicacy. We call it banana fritters. So whenever your banana gets overripe like that, do not throw them out because they make a delicious dish. So the main ingredients are going to be bananas, nutmeg, and I'll go in for a closer look. This is what a nutmeg looks like. However, that's in a shell. When you crack the shell open, it looks like this. Bigger round, of course, this one's been used, and then a grater, and so that's how you get it to work. Cinnamon is another requirement for your banana fritters for them to taste really delicious. Vanilla gives it a great flavor, and then we have the sugar, flour. My sister-in-law taught me to cut that flour volume by adding oatmeal. So I'll add more oatmeal and less flour. Lately, that's what I've been doing, and they come out just as delicious. And of course, I add some protein powder to make this thing a little bit more healthy. Some days I even add yogurt. Today I have no yogurt because I would use the vanilla flavored yogurt, which I'm out of today. So there's not going to be any yogurt. So the first step is just to mash the bananas, and then you add all these delicious ingredients. Then fry it golden brown, cool it, or eat it hot if you enjoy it that way, and it's just to die for. First thing we'll do is peel our bananas and mash them. So here we go. Let's get started. We'll use a large dish. We have 4 bananas total here, and so when we cook, we typically don't have much measuring to do. It's just inborn. You know how much of what works for your family. When you make this for the first time, it might not come out the way you like, but you just keep tweaking it to your taste. I do have a general reference point though. For example, with 4 bananas, I'll add 4 scoops of sugar, 4 spoons of brown sugar, and 4 scoops of flour. And that's just the general rule of thumb, so that it's not too watery. It is nice and thick. So mashing the banana is the first step, and you're just using a fork to mash these bananas because once they're ripe, they mash really easily. So here we go. Banana's almost finished. Okay, very good. Then we'll add our nutmeg, and it just goes like this. Grater it. And the smell of it is just delicious. We add nutmeg to our cakes and pastries as well for that excellent flavor. Cinnamon is one of our all-time favorites. And then we add some vanilla. I typically don't measure, so it just, after years of practice, you don't need to measure anymore. And 4 scoops of sugar, 1 for each banana. So if you're doing 2 bananas, you do 2 sugars. 3 bananas, 3 sugars, and so on. Then I will mix that. It becomes nice and soupy. See, that's what I mean by nice and soupy. It's sugar melted into the banana and the spices. It liquefies it some. Now we add the oatmeal. And I use this huge container of oatmeal because it keeps it best for us. Nice and fresh. And that will thicken it up somewhat. Protein powder in a different container because I like to be able to keep it in my pantry without having a bag rolling around. So I put it in a larger container. It's 2 scoops of protein powder that I just added. So this gives a healthier version of the banana fritters. And I'm gently folding this in. You'll see how it's getting thicker as we add more ingredients. That soupy consistency is now going away. The flour will be the very last ingredient you add, because if you stir that too much, it gets too rubbery, and you don't want a rubbery fritter. So when you add flour, you're just really folding it in. So this is almost at the consistency we want it prior to frying. And we haven't even added any flour yet. The flour is going to bind it and really hold it together. 2 scoops of flour instead of the usual 4. Then protein powder and oatmeal. Then there's just less flour. So you only do 2 scoops and fold it in. So this batter looks nice and ready now. And we're going to just fry those. I usually use olive oil. That is my oil of choice. And fry on one side, then turn. And fry on the second side. Golden brown consistency is what we go for here. So here we go. This is what our batter looks like now. So you use a spoon to drop it, like spoon size. Just about this size to drop in the hot oil and fry. The oil is now heated and we're ready to get started. So we're using just a regular soup spoon to drop these.
Your behavior here directly affects the rest of your life. You know that, don't you? There's a tough world out there, and it's getting tougher all the time.
And it's
There's millions of kids
sometimes good practice to have this fork as a helper to pry the batter from the spoon. Some days, depending how thick your batter is, it just slides right off.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing either of us can do. This isn't junior school anymore. We're nothings now. It's the most insignificant, powerless people in the school.
And I try to get as many as possible on the first round, so that maybe there's only one round. This is a large enough pan, so it will fit quite a few.
Open your hand. Oh yes, that's all right. I'm supposed to have both of them.
See, it just slides right off the spoon. If you're patient enough, that is.
Don't worry about it. I'm not in the mood for ice cream.
Just a quick shake. Careful not to splash the oil because that could hurt. Hot oil is no joke. We'll make space for another 2 in this pan. And we're good. we go.
I know exactly
And cleanup is real easy. I'll just set this
never makes anything
in the sink with water and it slides right out. So there is a view of the fritters frying up on the first side. After it's nice and brown, just flip them over and fry on the second side. And I have already prepared here my draining board. Whenever I fry anything whatsoever, I like to drain the excess oil just by using a cutting board with paper towel. That takes off the excess oil because we definitely don't need all the oil that soaks up into the food. So I like to set it down and just let it drain before enjoying. Now sometimes if it's not golden brown enough, you can flip them a couple times because at least it keeps the shape by flipping it a couple times. So that's what it looks like. We'll come back and see the finished product, or maybe one more time before the finished product. And here we have progress. We are almost finished. So I just prop some up in the corner so that they actually stay warm while the balance are being fried. Finished product. So now we just let that drain for a little bit and enjoy.